What up, what up, what up, what is happening, good people? Welcome to this edition of Herb and Two. This is the perfect intersection of intellect and thuggery. My name is Herb Howard alongside the great Toussaint Warner. As always, thrilled whenever she chooses to be joined by E4O. And live in studio hanging out with us today is the one and only Tahiti Spears. She...
Jazz fingers!
Tahiti is our director. She is a brand builder. She is a social media strategist and designer. But before we get into anything, as we always do, Two, what's happening, good brother?
Man, you know what I'm like. I've been good.
Oh, days.
I had to get it off. I'm out of way.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I've been good money, man. I'm blessed and highly favored.
Oh, good, man. You look good today. You look mighty dapper.
Man, you know I was begging them hunkies for some money. You know what I'm saying?
Get them all off.
Get them off, baby. I'm prepared. I'm getting them firing. All off the rip.
Let's go.
Hey, you can't play with me, man.
And can he say it? And
Hey,
Now fire.
Hey, I'm getting them off.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? I'm rolling
Serious.
sevens out the gate.
Let's go.
You know what I mean?
2 out of 2.
We in there. E4O. What it does, love. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
You
A
good?
little warm in here, but I'm good. I'm
It
feeling
is a
good.
little warm in here. I was about to get my belly top like you and shit, but it wouldn't. Nobody would enjoy that. Nobody would enjoy that. But you good though?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm, feeling good. Happy to be here. Looking forward to our conversation.
I am too, man. This is going to be a bit
Move on.
of an abbreviated conversation. What the fuck is wrong with you? Move on.
I'm so happy he don't got no job no more. Oh my God, she walked off.
She is wild now. She is wild now.
Oh shit, we're gonna have fun.
No, I'm good, man. I'm just, glad to be hanging out. We're gonna have a bit of an abbreviated conversation today, but let's hop right into it, man. TD, how are you?
I'm amazing. I'm happy to be here for sure.
I'm very happy to be
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. So tell us a little bit about you. I know you're from the crib, born and bred Chicago, but how'd you get into becoming art director and builder of brands?
Naturally just was always a creative kid, and I had a parent who honestly just like nurtured my talents. Not a parents, two-family home.
Flex.
I know both my
Flex.
parents.
I know both my parents. So it was
Flexing on you, broke
My
home.
daddy didn't leave me.
Flexing on you,
That's a
broke
flex
home,
though.
baby.
It is a flex today. though.
Unfortunately.
Salute.
Damn.
I'm done.
Salute to them people.
As I continue, they nurtured those talents, and they kind of saw what I gravitated to. And then as I got older, my father always raised me on the idea of like, what are you naturally good at? That's what you're supposed to be doing. If you see a kid breaking up things, that's probably supposed to be engineer. If you got the jokester, that might could be a comedian. So let them ride that wave, and that's
facts.
exactly what I decided to do. And then once I put my feet on the ground and got them a little wet, I'm just like, what I can do, what I can do on paper, I can do on computer. Oh my God, the pivot is
It's the
going to
importance
happen a
of a
lot.
black father though. You know what I mean?
Where the black father are.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
What'd your mother do?
My mother, stay-at-home mom.
Oh, okay, salute to her too.
Yeah,
That's a
it
flex
wasn't
also.
always that way though. Like she got ill, and then my dad was just like, "You stay at home and you become the manager of this household." So it was nice having a mom to always come home to.
Salute, man. That's
And
powerful.
my father, putting that arm up to be like, "I got this" type of situation. So a great example. But naturally just kept going towards things, and did all the proper things we're supposed to do, college and whatnot. But I just think I have a natural flow for having an eye for what people need to take in, or I always say my superpower is I could turn people's verbals into visuals, and basically
that.
that's what marketing is. If you see it and you get it right on the spot,
Right.
then I did my job.
Right.
In this short interaction with us, how do we turn our verbals into visuals? What do we need?
I mean, y'all are real spicy, so I'm like, this animation of a logo here, y'all got right on point, because he looked like he was about to say some shit, which you look like you always say all the time. You look like you got them something superior or elite to say, because you're looking off into the abyss, which this is perfectly aligned, so
Okay.
it's right on brand. And I'm the first time here, so I hope I caught your character well.
Well, it works for us.
Bam.
It works for
We'll
us.
find out.
All right. Gonna learn today.
Gonna learn today.
Mess
Gonna
around.
learn what it learn.
You know what I look like.
Shout out to Shannon
No,
Shaw.
that's what's up. So, when you talk about brand building, right? We are now in a time where people can go direct to consumer in a way that we've never been able to do before. Internet, social media has allowed people to build up their own brands and to manage those brands as they see fit. Some do it much better than others. To you, what is the importance of the brand, and what is the brand trying to do? I know you said I should be able to look at how you represent your company and tell what it's about. But other than that, what is the importance of like building a brand, sustaining it, and how it resonates with potential consumers?
I mean, the brand in general needs to have an authenticity. And I think that's what a lot of people like. We mimic a lot of things that we see, which is okay. Because I'm like, from the idea of like Virgil is like, people already giving you the blueprint. Your idea is to change it at least by 50% or even less, 10% to make it your own. We don't have to really restart the wheel. And to consistently be current, you have to remain, your eye has to remain current on things that are going on. We had the very mindful, very demure. We saw people run that up. So you can run it up too. But also, let's pull some things from those type of moments and how do we initially make it our own.
Why is demure the new hot word?
Yeah.
Well, it died already. But I think
So fast.
it's the fact that people don't
Why was it birthed?
expand their vocabulary.
And why can't other people spell it, but they say it all the time?
So look, if you say a new word that no one heard of,
Right.
you could be the very next demure, very mindful. So go in your dictionary right now and pop it up here.
No, I've made up a lot of words before. It's cool.
You made up words, or you
not
said
even,
words?
not even words in the dictionary. I just make them up, and then you say it in your crew, and your crew have enough influence. The next thing you know, you hear it somewhere else. And
But
you're
that's how slang
we
happens.
made that word up.
Bootylicious is in the dictionary.
Yeah,
Your words could be in the dictionary.
that's facts.
Say it out loud.
Pew. That's my word.
I feel like I started saying delulu, like delusional, and then
Before?
all of a sudden, it was like weeks later, people started talking about being delusional and saying delulu. And remember, I think I said it here, like I don't want to be delusional. And then literally like 2-3 weeks later, everybody was talking about it. I was like, damn, did I hear it somewhere and like say it without knowing that I like saw it somewhere or read it, or
Should be
Probably so.
facts.
It probably happened in like natural conversation, and you consistently say it. Now everyone is saying the way, which it makes sense. A lot of us are in Delulu, so it aligns perfectly.
yeah, it's fun.
But that's how
to
branding
be
kind of
delusional.
happens.
Is the idea of a brand itself delusional?
A little
Great
bit.
question.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, being delusional is somewhat okay.
It's fun.
Because I'm reaching for what I initially want. Majority of the time I walk around in delusion, I be like, I'm going to get that bag. Can I afford that bag? Not now, but it's like a dream. I'm dreaming on it.
Manifestation.
Basically, we all a little delusional in some type of way. A lot of people want to be millionaires. You're delusional right now because you work a 9 to 5. There's no way you're getting there. But if you have enough delusion to imagine, if I put my foot on this, if I invest in that and invest in that, your delusion is becoming real.
I
So
struggle a
brands are
little bit
similar.
though. I struggle a little bit. I think following Herb's line of questioning, I think we've kind of infused the corporate concept of life with the human concept of life. And I think people think they have personal brands, right? And I think the vast majority of us attempt to have personal brands. I think that concept is an interesting concept to have.
Interesting concept.
Concept,
Perhaps
yeah.
delusional and flawed.
Perhaps delusional
Wait.
and very flawed.
With that, like, do y'all feel like y'all have a personal brand? Like, not tied to corporate, but you know, when we was talking about social media a lot right before this, and then kind of like what you mentioned with people confusing corporate lingo or whatever with personal. I feel like a lot of people, like my daughter, she told me for her Instagram, she was like, you know, I'm mysterious.
Yeah.
She said, that's my thing. I'm a mystery. I'm mysterious.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But that's who you are
you're
online.
not mysterious. You talk so much.
Right, that's who she is online. Who are you off camera?
Right.
That's who your brand really is.
So
It doesn't match on both platforms.
I
That's authentic.
think all of it is a fallacy. I think the very essence of humanity is not one way.
It's not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As lively as you are right now, when this camera goes off, which I talked to you prior to, you were just the same. You're authentic. Which I'm saying that
I
is your
am
brand.
authentic.
Right, but
right?
I'm
But even being authentically me, it's a multifaceted human being.
1000% because
No.
we're layers.
Faceted. You heard that right.
No.
New
Authentic
language.
is your brand. I heard what she said.
That's a problem then.
That is
Right? Because
your
it means
brand,
that the vast
though, right?
majority of us are operating outside of our authentic selves.
Yes, we are.
For that to stand out. And I know that to be true. And I know that's why I carry it that way. And I know I make people uncomfortable being authentic.
it's interesting because the idea of brand, at least as it's most often used in today's society, is something other than your authentic self. Like it's this, I'm this Barbie, or I'm this macho motherfucker, or I'm whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's not who you are on a regular basis. And so for then your brand to be on some authenticity is a little bit outside the course.
Perspective. Right.
The thing is, I feel like majority of the people, we start off with the embodiment to be authentic, but then once people get a crowd around them, they lose themselves. Because all these...
Then they trash.
They make trash, like influencers, where it's like out of nowhere they woke up to a ton of followers because you were being yourself. Yeah. And now the followers are there, it's like, now I got to entertain them. But somehow you got to figure out how to keep the flow. Like one person I use, for example, that I think is authentic and why I think her, like, wave rides so well is like Rihanna.
I knew you was gonna say that. Yeah.
She's still that. Well, she had to pivot because who she came out with first was not her.
Yeah.
She had to find herself or whoever found her. And after that bad girl, whatever, she just been rocking it.
Yeah.
And we rock with it too.
But that's what I mean about humanity, right? Maybe that was her.
The first version?
Yeah. And as she grows, I'm this now.
No, I think they tried to.
They were actually telling her to.
They tried to make her this buttoned up.
We can leverage Rihanna. We can leverage Beyonce. We can leverage anybody. But I'm saying that is the human experience, right? And even in the when I say a perspective, right? So I've been an art director. I've been a designer as well, right? As an entrepreneur, and you're dealing with startups specifically. I'm gonna say startups specifically.
Okay.
Let's say you're doing a brand design for a startup company.
Yeah.
I'd almost willing to bet you've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Right? How do you define your brand? Right? How would you, asking the client itself, how would you define that brand? And they're looking for you to define it for them.
Exactly.
Because they haven't thought about it at all.
That is always true.
Right? It's very, very common.
Yeah.
Right? And what they want you to do is keep shooting shots at the design until I see something that makes me feel good. Because I ain't really thought about who I am.
Yeah.
Right? Now, this is somebody who's invested in starting some kind of a business, right? I say that to say even being authentic is an investment, right? You have to learn who you are to become who you are, right? And if we know that less than 5% of us are taking chances at starting businesses, so they're making some investments, they're taking some risks to even get out there, right? To come talk to you, they got to be willing to spend some money.
1,000%.
That's how it works, right? And even in willing to spend some money,
Back.
they haven't even thought that much about what story they really want to tell. So to think that we have a personal brand or that we operate in a personal space where we're not only dedicated to this idea of who we are, have we even thought about the idea of who we are?
Yeah.
I bet $1 to a dime no.
Yeah. I mean, we all start off with something. But like I said, people definitely come to me and ask me, like, well, who should I be? I'm like, I don't know who you're supposed to be.
That's your story,
You got to
not
figure
mine.
out the mission.
Yeah.
You got to figure out the statement. So I try to take them through a process to honestly get there. We might kill it in the first year who we thought you were going to be, but that's when the rebrand, like you said, Rihanna.
Oh, it's lucrative.
I don't think that was her. I think she was supposed to be the second person. But that often is kind of what happened. It's like you put yourself out there to test the waters, and then sometimes the rebrand does have to happen because now we finally found the sauce.
I think that there's this balance, right, of this who I am and who I want to be, if you will, in terms of the presentation to potential consumers. And I think there has to be some room and flexibility for the pivot, right? I think we've done that with the Herb and Two pod. Like, I think that Herb has always been authentic. I think Two has always been authentic. I think Herb and Two as a podcast has been authentic, but it's also had to pivot because we've made certain decisions about what is most digestible to people, what it looks like, what it sounds like. And sometimes when you do that, you look up a little bit later like, ugh, now it don't feel quite as authentic. Hold up, stop, retrace our steps before we lose our fucking self in this shit.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But Herb and Two is a brand.
Right.
Herb Howard and Two Something Warner are human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a separation for me. You know what I mean?
No.
So I'm fully with, we can change this shit all day long. I asked the question before we started. How y'all feel about me saying hunky?
Right.
Right? And if there was a level of discomfort,
×2.
I'm not going to say that. Get it off again. You sound good. I'm really good with this shit. You understand me?
Two of my favorite lyrics are, one is from Jay-Z and one is from T.I. And Jay-Z says, man, you was who you was before you got here. You know what I'm saying? You could try to change, but that's just the top layer. You know what I'm saying? And T.I. has a lyric I like even more, especially in today's day and age where people try to redefine or later define what's cool and what's not. And T.I. say, man, what the fuck is fame to me? I've been popping since kindergarten. You were lame to me. Like, that shit don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, like, I've always been, like, popular or, like, could have people, like, gravitate to the shit I'm on. Like, that's just always been my personal existence. So lights and cameras or, like, people like, yo, I appreciate it and I like the love of it. But once it gets to this, like, superficial adoration shit, like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about none of that. And it's a lot of that going on in the world today. Like, even just in the city, like, oh yeah, some of this shit is real fruitful and it's fake and it's phony and I don't like you niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do y'all think people ask themselves those two questions, and have you all, like, do y'all think people actually sit with themselves and say, like, who am I? Like, and who do I want to be? And have y'all asked yourselves those questions?
I think for the most part, people ask themselves, who do other people want me to be? And they lead with that.
I ask myself some questions every day.
I do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't want to become a version that someone already, like, projects of me.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, like, I had, like, an instance where people were just like, oh, I think you come off like a sex kitten. And I was just like, no, I'm just a confident woman.
Yeah.
So that's not what I'm.
Put all that dick in there, Michelle.
I was like, I'm more so a confident woman, not anyone that's, like, purring for additional things like that. So I don't want that perception to be created for me.
Yeah.
I want you to honestly know that I'm
Sorry,
just happy.
It's a lot going on. Somebody's
playing the
piano.
This is all piano upstairs. I've never heard that.
This is romantic.
As soon as she starts talking about sex kitten, she throw that thigh.
It was a cue.
Put that all in you, Michelle.
You gotta try to ignore it.
It was perfect.
Turn off these, like, leave the red lights up. You know what I mean?
Now, it would go too far into the sex kitten season.
Right.
So no.
Right. It's like you're lying to me.
Lean into the brand they want you to be.
No, I don't want to lean into that brand at all.
You know what, though? Even to the Jay-Z point, though, there's another line where he says, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense. I make $5 million. I ain't rhyme like common sense.
I love
Right.
I like that. Right. You already know this. I am
So
him in.
here's this public persona. Who I am might be this guy.
Right.
But this is the profitable guy. Right? And if you look at how he lives his life outside of the public purview, he really might be common sense.
More
you know, he got the big dreads. He might be bohemian than the motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he sells capitalism.
Yeah.
Uber opulence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nigga ain't come to say in 22 years.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is who I'm projecting, and that's cool. But this might be who I am.
Yeah.
Right? But I think this is some spiritual shit. This might be a little too far from
there.
us.
Let's go. We can go there.
We also are moving into the age of Aquarius. This is a truth-telling age. Authentic age.
Yeah.
Right? So I could say for years, my authentic self has been a problem in a lot of circles. Right? But I'm very comfortable in it. Right? And I also know how to make my own money.
Yeah.
No, that matters though. Hear what I'm saying? Because I've always known how to make my own money, I've always been a tradesman, I don't really have to confine to nothing. And I've always been comfortable with that. And my skill set has always been very high. So even if you don't like me, you're going to spend money with me because you want my product. I don't have to
conform
to what makes you comfortable.
You shouldn't.
No, I'm not saying you should. I'm saying I haven't had to. Right? But I've even witnessed the change. Right? And I mean that in the sense that the world is conforming to me now. Right? That authenticity, that truth telling. And if we look around, right, the illusions and the walls are falling. Right? I told y'all a couple years ago, Puff going to jail. Way before Puff was in anybody trouble. Right? Because that kind of energy is going to fall down in this new age.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot be shiny suit man because it's just not going to be valued right now.
Yeah.
Drake losing to Kendrick. We might see it one kind of way, but all that illusion shit is really dissipating. Right? Kendrick is not a traditional Superbowl halftime performer.
Yeah.
But he is, because the age is changing.
Let's talk about that right quick for a second.
Sports segment.
It's dope. I'm dope. You see that, right? I'm fucking dope.
I like your
See, I'm
brain.
fucking dope.
I
Shit.
got a time for dinner time too.
The Super Bowl is in New Orleans
Yeah.
this year. A lot of expectation was that Lil Wayne, Cash Money, would be performing for the halftime. First of all, I think it's interesting that the expectation has become for somebody from like hip hop culture or R&B
Right,
to
yeah.
do the halftime show. We usually like maybe once in 10 years we might get a black artist, and that artist would be like Whitney
Jay-Z
Houston or
sold out black
Janet
people for
Jackson
that,
or
though.
something. Right.
So you know.
Right. So we
Let's
made
get our
that
money's
shit.
worth.
We'll give y'all the halftime show. Dance, nigga.
There's no.
You know what I mean? So now the last few shows have been, you know, Dre and Usher and Beyonce and you know what I mean? Anyway, the expectation that many had was that would be Wayne. It's not going to be Wayne. It's going to be Kendrick Lamar. I can certainly make a case for it to be Wayne.
It's because he definitely gonna do Not Like Us.
But Wayne will not put in, at least he hasn't shown the willingness or desire to put in the time to rehearse a show that needs to be rehearsed like the Super Bowl.
Your case for Wayne, though, would only be because you black and a part of hip hop culture. Like, as a football fan, I would think you would see it very differently, right? When you start thinking about what the Super Bowl represents, the kind of volume that an artist has to have to get that kind of recognition at the halftime show, Wayne has never had that. If you think about Wayne's greatest hits, is off mixtapes mostly, right? He's never, what's his two biggest song Wayne ever had? With Lollipop and...
Back that ass up.
that wasn't even a
Millie.
Wayne song, really.
Go to
Millie.
Jay.
Right. But none of them,
That's like
none of them
karaoke
are like uber hits. Those are black people hits.
Doesn't have a global reach.
They don't have the global reach. Like not like us took over.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We can make the argument because we're ingratiated and engulfed in the culture. We it's a sentimental argument. It's not a logical argument.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I don't think he's brand worthy alignment with to get back on branding.
Right.
With the Super
I got
Bowl.
brand.
It's just like, you know, we know him for like the drugs and all of that. And like you said, also the rehearsal. I don't think he's going to give a show. He's not going to give a production.
Yeah.
It's not to put it in the same boat as Kendrick Lamar, but when you've been to Kendrick Lamar, he's going to give you theatrics.
It's a production.
He's going to give you a storyline. And that's what the
what I was
Super
gonna say, it
Bowl
all ties
honestly
together.
needs. And we already know.
And you have to do that in a window that's this big. Like everything has to be down to the second.
Down to the second, because one hit is going to mess up. And right now, as we were talking about Brandon, he's current. It's the current thrill of the Drake and the Kendrick Lamar. And we know it's going to hype people up. We know they're going to tune in. So the Super Bowl know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Rock Nation, they got the flood of putting all these black people on the platform. That's why we keep getting the back-to-back bangers of Usher.
And they're going to keep making it. I mean, last year, Usher was like,
Keep
yo, a
selling
football game broke out at the Usher concert. That's how some people was looking at it.
broke out.
That was Beyonce.
You know what I'm saying? What time was halftime? And it came 15 minutes.
It
out.
left.
It's a show.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting, man. And I think, you know, Wayne has done that to him. So I remember Fabulous was telling the story about getting Wayne on the track. It's like we paid cash money, $100,000 for Wayne to get on the track. They was gonna come to the studio. We asked them what they needed. They was like, we want 4 bottles of Cristal. So he was like, cool, right? He was like, we got the 4 bottles of Cristal. They pull up. We thinking they got the 4 bottles of Cristal. We done bought in the studio. We gonna pop some champagne. Then we gonna vibe and lay down the track. He said, Wayne walked in there, went in the booth, laid down his verse. They said they was in and out of there in 15 minutes and took the 4 bottles of Cris with him.
He said, I did my job.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Y'all wild as hell. Dinner time, shall we?
Let's get it.
Let's have dinner time.
Let's eat.
Tahiti, dinner time is the thing that we do here on Herb and Tool. Our tagline is intellectual thuggery. Dinner time.
Fits with the brand, doesn't it?
Look at us.
See the suit?
See the suit.
See the third.
Right.
Bong.
That works actually. You are to pick 2 people from any point in history, dead or alive, that you would want to sit down and have dinner with for a particular purpose, though.
Okay.
One of these people has to represent that of an intellect. One of these people has to represent that of a thug.
Ooh.
One intellect, one thug from any time in history, dead or
Anybody.
alive.
Yeah.
That you would want to sit down with, have dinner with both of them to reach some cause.
Conceptually, you don't get shit done if you ain't got balls and brains.
Well, we already know. I'm going to say Jay-Z. I just want to sit down with him, but also I'm in love with that man. So majority of this conversation will be honestly just be staring at this man, but just to get his insight on just how he sees everything.
You
how
might be the
touch-
first person I've ever heard say
Everyone
that.
says that, and my mom.
Which
knows
one would
this.
he be?
I've been in love with him since I've been 8 years old, so it's not him.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
That's
It's
interesting.
just the first person I've ever heard say that about. Not that they don't love him or admire or wouldn't want to fuck with him, but to be like, well, I would just stare at him. He's so fine. I've never really heard nobody say that.
No, at the Jay-Z
I fuck with
and Beyonce concert, his aura was just like he wasn't even doing nothing on the stage, and I was like,
Yeah, he
I
holds.
can see.
He doesn't do anything
He
on stage.
holds.
He's like somebody that be at the Super Bowl, but it's just like we need animations and
But
stuff
you
behind
felt
him.
it,
But
though.
you feel him
Yeah.
in the room. But I feel like he just has so much, like I said, intellect in his mind. Rather, that's like.
So
rap
he's your
lyrics.
intellectual.
He's my intellectual.
Okay.
My thug, which I also feel like is still an intellect, is like Tupac. I feel like this man knew some deep government stuff. Also, I don't think he's dead. So alive and alive, he's somewhere in Cuba chilling right now.
Okay.
It's just the time
I
and
hope
just
so.
like to understand like from his mom perspective, like what she went through and just how he wanted to touch on all these different bases. Sometimes he was a little like in between. I'm like, you want to talk about helping women, but we also talking about like degrading them at the same time.
Put all
But I
that dick
feel
in there,
like
Michelle.
his words were just like so powerful, and it's just the moment that they live in, that 1990s, and also seeing the uprise of just like you know, police brutality and the way he wanted to like approach it and things like that. I just feel like this man was something that we needed to have around more if we go to Cuba.
All right.
And we
Cuba.
can find him and we can unlock some things. Yeah, but I would probably pick Tupac, and I would probably pick
So
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is the intellect and Tupac is the thug, or they just kind of
They kind of intertwine.
And what are we accomplishing at this dinner?
At the dinner, Jay-Z, we're accomplishing, how do we have...
No, they both there together.
They're
It's
both
not two
there
separate
together.
dinners.
Okay, Jay-Z, we're accomplishing, how do we have a multitude of like businesses in order to just become like that generational wealth? I feel like that's what he embodies. Tupac, I literally just want as this like smart thug and just like
Militant.
just give me vibes and stories from like the past and just like things that he's went through, things that he's seen, the whole like beef and the ditties and the
He's just there for entertainment.
He's there for entertainment, honestly. Because I'm like, when you heard him talking to spit at the camera, it's just, he's there for giggles. And I'm pretty sure Jay-Z are probably like, calm down, calm down. Or he might get him hyped. If we all in the room together, it might be one good time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I would ask you one thing about both of those dudes. How does one go from being a ballet student to the most renowned thug there is, spin at the camera and fuck the police and shooting at the police and all the shit Pac became known for?
That is...
You believe the brand. I love this question. I fucking love this question. I'm so glad we thought of this.
Yeah, this is good.
Because
Good job.
I love hearing
Right.
people's perspective.
Oh.
Right? Pac was the intellect in that conversation. Jay-Z's the thug in that conversation. You don't master capitalism without being a thug. It's criminal.
Third eye.
It's criminal.
Yeah.
Right? Pac's history to the ballet shit, and now even outside of that, the man was born to intellects. Right? Even his brand was constructed by other intellects. It was the New African Movement that they created that brand for him to move black people to the New African concept. It's just really interesting to hear perspectives, G.
It is. It is. And also, the other question I would pose about Jay is, how does one go from a intense capitalist to the point of shooting your brother about some money to a person that you would say can build community through his ideas of capitalism?
Never heard that.
You didn't know he shot his brother?
No.
Yeah.
No, I
And
never
he
heard
has
that
no
one.
interest in building no goddamn community.
He never texted me about that one.
He never texted you about shooting his brother?
I never knew about
You
that
didn't
one.
listen to the records?
Shot his brother about money?
What kind of fan are you?
Whoa. Sometimes you can be a fan in different capacities.
She said she didn't want to look at the
That's
nigga.
like him.
She don't want to say nothing. She just want to look at him.
Exactly.
Right. I'm messing with you. But I'm
He shot
very
his brother?
intrigued by how people.
Shot his
Yeah.
brother.
I'm very intrigued by people.
So
how
it's the
people answer
rebrand.
He
this
didn't mean
question.
to. The rebrand.
He didn't mean
He
to.
rebranded.
Shot him on purpose.
He didn't even rebrand. He tells you who he is at every record he produces.
But look, is the rebrand or is the brand under the umbrella? We got Sean Carter, we got Jay-Z,
Oh.
we got pillars.
Jigga hole.
We got pillars.
Or it's the American rebrand
Is the
and
American.
how we respond.
Expand on that.
Ooh,
I love your mind.
Is the American.
It's the American rebrand and
the
how
American
we respond.
rebrand.
You think about Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z's older than me, right? So he's really first generation of pseudo-free black people, right? He's right out of Jim Crow, right? So when you think about the concept, right, I tell people all the time, I was born in 76. King was killed in what, 69, 68?
Yeah.
68. 8 years.
Yeah.
We don't conceptually think of that. right? But 8 years ago, they had signs that said, nigga, you don't drink this water.
My daddy was 4.
You understand? It was a 8-year time lapse from nigga, you don't drink this water to nigga, you can work at IBM. Right? So what that does is it creates a construct around our communities where we don't have to ingratiate ourselves on the concept of community and family the way we used to.
Delulu.
Because we've been allotted access.
Look how that comes back around.
Right? Now, because I'm a little bit in that J generation, I saw the impact of crack. Like firsthand. I know what happened there. Right? I also saw how capitalism, I didn't know it at the time, of course.
Yeah.
But capitalism and capitalist mindsets changed the dynamic of community. Right? Because now the 18-year-old dude is legitimately making family and life decisions. Because he the one with the bag.
My ex.
You understand what I'm saying? He got the bag. So mama know he got crack. Right? And she gonna allow the crack because she's also paying for this, this, and this. You understand? But he's 18. He's reckless as hell.
16.
He don't have no concept of culture, community, value, none of that. He 18.
Yeah.
Right? He just trying to get some money, get some sex, get some clout. Right? That's the American rebrand. Right? We say black people create culture all the time. We the cool. We shift culture. That is now the culture. So what we do is, that's why you said Jay-Z's the intellect. And I say he ain't. Right? Because we conflate people who win in capitalism as being smart. It's not true. Donald Trump's a winner in capitalism. But then you say he dumb. You can't have it both ways, goddammit. You understand what I'm saying? But the American Rebrand, we have people just gonna vote for Trump. Like, he's a businessman. But no, he ain't. He just inherited money from his parents.
Yeah.
Right? You say Jay-Z's a businessman. I'd argue that. No, he ain't. He's a brand ambassador.
How so?
Because he puts his name on brands that are already winning.
A brand ambassador for who?
For whomever.
Right.
It don't matter.
The start of like the business, it seemed like he was putting a lot of his efforts and their money forward to be different from the other artists.
He
that were
was
out
this
there.
much percentage owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Right? He was this much percentage owner of all the alcohol brands. He's a brand ambassador. The business acumens to get those real brands off the ground, he had nothing to do with. Because he's Jay-Z, we can attach your likeness to. He's an NIL deal. He's the greatest NIL deal you can have.
But that's now. I'm talking about like the Rockefeller era. I feel like that was.
No, that's Dame Dash.
Still,
We can keep going down the line. And I'm not knocking it. He's the greatest brand ambassador that we've known out of our community. But that's what he is. That's what he is. All of the businesses that came out of Rockefeller, all of them. All of them are Dame Dashes. Every business that grew from Rockefeller is Dame Dashes. And if you listen to Dame, he'll tell you Jay wanted nothing to do with any of them. The movies, the clothes, all that's Dame. Dame has always been the business mind. Jay sold his friends and his people out for greater brand ambassadorships.
I like to say he played chess.
That's the rebrand. That's what they made us think.
I'm okay with that.
No, that's the American rebrand that keeps the 6 people in control. Because we believe he played chess. No. The white folks behind him is playing chess, and he's a great puppet. So, look, I'm a Jay fan lyrically. I can't stand him as a human being.
Oh, okay.
Right? And I've gotten backlash for saying that out loud. You know, me and Herb had these conversations all the time.
Because what if Jay-Z wants to help us? No, just
but that's exactly
Then help me shout.
I know.
Right? But even think about, we just talked about the halftime shows.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? It comes from Jay, right? But it don't. It comes from the sacrifices that Kaepernick made, and white people realized, oh shit,
We gotta give him
we
something.
got a problem. Go get the greatest ambassador and make a poster.
But I mean, I get that and stuff, but I feel like it's always kind of like gonna come to a head because from the jump, white people have always been in control, like as far as in America. So it's like, of course, if the 6 people that are in charge that we're talking about, none of them are black, you know what I mean? Or none of them represent us, it's always going to take some type of movement from a brand ambassador, I feel.
I'm going to go one more.
Try to move
Why is
that, right?
Kamala Harris relevant today?
Why is she relevant?
Yeah. Why is she relevant?
I'm gonna just say the vice president.
Yeah, but that's because she,
Yeah, and
Well, what made her even the vice president? How'd she get there?
Yeah, I mean, she came from.
Hey, is anybody
a
following
line
me?
of
You follow me
politics.
there, Herb?
I got you. She was the person that was needed at the time. You can't be all of these president, vice president partnerships are meticulously put together, right? So that you can cover as much of the board as possible. So if I'm a young, black, left-leaning president in Barack Obama, I need an old, white, right-leaning vice president, right? So that's why him and Joe Biden run together. These people tend to not like each other. They tend to be at opposite ends of the same party, right? But I got to cover as much of the board as I can, so that's why they do that. Same thing here. Joe Biden, still old, white, right-leaning. I need young, black, specifically woman in this particular instance. And so we're going to go Chucks, Pearls, Howard, a.k.a.
Now, the qualifier, the reason I used her, because we struggle sometimes when we have our idols in the conversation. And she might be an idol as well, right? But I said Jay wasn't a businessman. He's a brand ambassador, right?
I'm not a businessman.
Kamala Harris has been very detrimental to our community. But she leverages our community like a uniform. She puts it on and wears it for brand ambassadorship. And the people who are really in control also know that. We don't have to give them nothing but a poster.
I wouldn't agree with that.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
I wouldn't agree with that. Yeah.
Right? We're a captured vote.
Where two things could be.
We could check a record.
Yeah.
And we're blindly loyal to a party that hasn't ever really given us shit. Not to speak
But
of.
I again, what I'm saying though is how the game, you like Jay's a chess player. Jay is a piece that's being moved in directions that the people who really playing chess need him to move.
I guess what I be thinking is like when you
Real
go
quick,
ahead.
even and then I'm gonna make one more statement. You said white people have always been in control.
Yeah.
Only of white people and black people. They don't do none of this shit in the Spanish community. They don't do none of this shit in the Hindu community. They don't do none of this shit. Why? Why doesn't it work there and it works here?
Because we've been slaves.
Because we're the only true Americans.
Well, you said this is the American branding.
Yeah.
Because, right, we have been affected by the rebrand, right? We are authentically American, like Herb said, right? So the mother people do not align with the philosophy. They don't.
Yeah.
So it doesn't affect them.
They still have their roots in Chinese culture or Mexican
yeah.
culture or
Right?
whatever.
They understand
Ours is
that
American
capitalism
culture.
can't
Which
build
has been
community.
us at the
They
bottom.
understand that
Right.
community builds
We
capital.
Americans,
It's the other way
while not
around.
having access to
Right?
it.
So when I say Pac was a created brand by a group that was called the New Africans that was trying to brand, they understood the concept that community built capital and not the other way around.
Okay.
Right? They were playing chess, right? And the bigger chess players, get that nigga, get him out of here.
Popped them off.
He's a threat.
Yeah.
Jay ain't a threat. Threats get killed.
You know what? I don't disagree there.
So,
That took a
point
turn.
is,
Right. But it got there.
I love it though. Yeah.
Around town.
are we now 100% certain that Shannon Sharp is not a homosexual?
I still think so.
Put that all in you, Michelle.
I never thought.
Was it Michael?
Because I mean, that could have
She
been
said I
just
still think.
that could have just been a setup for us.
That was a lie. First of all, she was faking.
Yeah.
How you know she was faking?
So
I didn't hear much of her.
You
to
ever
be
seen
honest.
Shannon Sharp?
They said it was very.
It
quick.
might be a lot to put in her.
He is a big country nigga. A dirt road barefoot nigga.
He's had allegations of.
He
being
might have
queer.
3 legs.
yeah, allegations of being queer. I'm just saying it sounded.
He looks like a horse.
Sometimes the bigger you are,
It's smaller. Yeah.
you know.
Well, that's true. I'm just saying, them
They
dirt-
always take it too far.
the man didn't take a shower until he went to college. He never had running water in his house. He's
Wait,
that
what?
type of dirt road country nigga.
Yeah, he different. This is a different kind of country.
Like that's
I don't know. It's just
that's slave country. That's
Take that, take
the
that, take
little
that.
bit I heard,
Kickstand
which I wasn't
country.
familiar with it until like right before we started recording. It just, I don't know. It wasn't
Ooh,
giving.
you know what it look like.
It wasn't giving a natural
That's what it feels like a
sexual
setup.
interaction for me.
So he also does a podcast late at night with Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, and as soon as he rinses it up, he's like,
that's
"Yo,
what they talk,
right before we
Chad.
came on the show, Cat Williams called me. The first thing he said was, "You ain't
gay
gay today."
Yeah.
Like that's what you're trying to put out there. Like I'm not gay. I promise y'all. Y'all heard me.
That's what
y'all heard me boning Michelle.
I think the fact that he stood in front of it.
You know how hard it is to go fucking live. You don't accidentally go live while you boning.
You don't. You press somebody's live.
Yeah, like
That's what I said. I think it was a setup.
Yeah, he did.
I
agree. That's
you
what I
gotta
think.
click like 4 things to go live, G. Your
I
phone
don't
don't
know
fall
nothing
and go live.
Nope.
Hey man, I don't know what Uncle Shannon is. I know.
One day
He told
he's
Michelle
gonna
to put it
go
in.
himself.
You gotta go live, and then you gotta. Well,
I really don't care. I think it's a great
actually.
drop to have for the pod, and we're gonna get it.
But while having intercourse,
How many?
No,
What did you do?
'cause
You
why do I
had to
have
do
my
like 3
phone?
things, right?
I mean, I clicked.
that means he had to click Instagram.
Wait, let me see.
Then he had to click
I had
live.
to-
Then you have to click the button.
Yeah, you have to click
let me
3
see.
things.
You gotta click
What
Live.
if you were already
You hit-
on
you hit
live
the thing.
and just forgot to turn
You
it
hit.
on?
You gotta
And
hit
then
4
you gotta
buttons.
But also,
And then it
you're
counts you
Shannon
down.
Sharp.
Yeah,
Why are you
like-
going live with yourself?
You gotta hit 4 buttons, like,
Maybe you was going live, right? You was waiting on Michelle to get there.
and then she came right in.
And she came and got to
sat
it,
on
and you forgot it was there.
No.
No.
And start
Nah.
telling Michelle to
I
put
love
it in.
how you're creating the.
Because it was like a minute and 16 seconds of live. It wasn't like the end of a
It
45-minute
was a
live.
minute and 16 seconds of performance too.
Yeah.
Like he went
It's
from
not a good performance.
dome.
Not good.
How y'all know that? This 2 minutes can change your life. What did you talk about?
I've had some great quickies.
Say you got quickies.
I've had some great quickies.
I'm not embarrassed about nothing than me. Hey,
No, I've had
Hey.
some great quickies.
I can show out 2 minutes, but my point is this.
I think it's to cover up the gap. Because as soon as someone told me, Granty, I was joking about it, I was like, was it with a man or a woman? That was my
Oh,
question
really?
immediately.
I never even knew that was a thing for him.
Yeah, some of his
But I don't pay attention to Shannon Sharp. He
some of
gets
his
on my
fashion
nerves, so.
choices and mannerisms and stuff has caused some speculation about his sexuality. I don't care, right?
Yeah,
You bone whoever you want to bone,
yeah.
but then you do this kind of thing. To me, your attempt at debunking
be
the
yourself,
story
homie.
kind of validates it.
Yeah.
You know what I think is interesting, real quick though, right? I was watching something else the other day, and it's the new girl rapper on TD. I can't think of her name. She's new, but she's got an album out just kind of making waves or whatever.
Okay.
And they were asking her relationship status, right? And she alluded to, I guess she made a song about dating some dude and finding out he was a homosexual later, and she was offended by this, that, and the third, right? But she was only offended that he didn't tell her he was a homosexual, because other than that, it would have been all good, right? This is that gender fluid generation that I don't understand. But she also spoke to being in a committed relationship with some other woman in the moment, right? And I was just listening to that conversation, how it's so acceptable. Shannon Sharp being of a different generation, where he would have to go out his way to prove
That he's not
his
gay.
heterosexualness.
Yeah.
Just very interesting, the dynamic across the board to me, like how one person could be here and it's like, hey, we're gonna celebrate that.
Yeah.
Then another person could be here and be like, oh, you ain't shit.
The rebrand.
Yeah.
It's the American
But his brand
brand
is that.
changes. Yeah.
Is he an ex-NFL player?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with his
No, he is.
past.
He's a Hall of
Right.
Fame football player. He's one of the best tight ends to ever play.
Most of those
Tight end,
categories,
huh?
they don't
Tight end,
allow-
huh?
Yeah.
wide
It's
receiver.
almost like
They don't allow you to be queer, so it's like he has
Now,
to
there's
stay.
been an open homosexual
now,
football
though.
player.
Now.
it's almost like
'Cause he gonna be closeted.
each generation is a brand, and every time the new generation arrives, that's the rebrand
Yeah.
Yeah.
of America.
It's a little
So-
bit more.
Because Caitlyn got comfortable and,
Wow.
came out.
Facts.
Bruce.
Caitlin Clark.
No, Bruce.
Caitlyn
Oh,
Jenner.
Caitlin.
I'm trying to, call
Big
them
Bruce.
by their right form.
Or
Olympian Bruce.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
Woman of the year.
Don't know how that happened.
Wild.
Is
Why
that
you don't know how
offensive
that
to y'all?
happened? Y'all agree all this
White
shit, then get
America. To
mad.
me, yes.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Yes,
offensive
that's
to y'all.
offensive to me.
If I was a woman, I would be offended in a way.
Why? Why is it offensive?
Genetically.
It's
Yeah,
just
'cause
offensive.
Again, man,
You
y'all.
go through a lot as a
You
This
can
is
be
what-
trans of
yeah.
the year.
Right, but to be a
You can
woman,
be trans woman of the year.
to be a
Yeah.
woman and to deal with all the challenges that comes with being a woman, for somebody who woke up and decided I am woman, to be woman of the year is fucking
It's
insane.
crazy.
Listen, my argument
To
is
have a
not that you should not have a
contraction
problem
as a
with
woman?
it. My
Right.
argument is that all of these are slippery slopes. You can't accept it over here and reject it over here. Life don't work that way.
Nah, I disagree,
I
bro.
disagree.
Okay.
I disagree, bro. I get the premise that you're making, but I am always a person who judges each individual case on its own merit. Like there are some things I'm very conservative about, there are some things I'm very liberal about, and it just depends on what we're talking about in the moment.
I think that's the rebrand of America too, though.
So
Right.
I either always got to be over here or always over there.
What do they call it in the law when a precedent has been set? There's a word for it. right? So you can always pull up a case like
precedent.
this case, a precedent,
Yeah.
right? So this, oh my bad, I'm so smart. I didn't even
That's what I was thinking. I'm
It's
like,
called a precedent. Goddamn, I'm good.
You said the
Right.
All right,
Goddamn, I'm
the
good.
precedent.
But my point is this, right? I can pull up whatever case I'm involved in, say this happened in 19
Sure.
in New Jersey.
Sure.
And because this is the standard, then you got to treat me per the standard. When those lines get blurred, there are no standards, and then you can't bring back the standard because you're uncomfortable how the lines get blurred. It don't work that way. Life don't work that way. I got 2 kids, and there's a unique difference between a girl and a boy, right? Eric had a struggle growing up with me, right? Because I'm gonna put my hands on him when he act crazy. It just we gonna cross the line. My daughter manipulates the shit out of me. I ain't gonna put my hands on my daughter ever, right? But he be looking at me like, nah, nigga.
You letting her treat you.
You know what I'm saying? I know what would happen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he got a point,
Yeah.
right? Same house, different rules. That's not fair, but that is life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
I got to, right?
That's what I'm saying.
No. But I accept the failure. I accept the flaw. I know I'm bullshitting.
The world should have knew they was bullshitting when they gave that
I know I'm bullshitting.
moment.
I ain't gonna lie to myself and say it was fair. It ain't.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't get mad. I'm not, again, to the point of when Caitlyn gets Woman of the Year, hey man, I accepted this. So I gotta accept this.
Nip
Right.
got a line to say, I say it's worth it, I won't say it's fair. Like, everything ain't fair. Equity ain't equality. Ain't the same thing. Equity mean everybody gets what they need. It don't mean everybody gets the same thing.
I think those are different arguments though.
I don't think so, bro.
Right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the point of equity and equality though, right? For what's the dude named Bruce, Caitlyn, whatever the name is.
Sure.
Right? When he gets
Their name.
There, right.
Yeah,
She,
that,
her.
see how insane that is? That's my point. The fact that we're having this conversation this way
That's generational rebranding.
is
Yeah,
my
there's more
point.
substance to it.
Yeah.
Right? You all want to be fair, right?
Be
You want to
who
be
you want
sensitive
is
to
the
those
new
needs.
rebrand.
You want to be sensitive to those needs in the dialect that we use, in
I
the
was
conversation that we have. I know,
Yeah.
you know, I don't give a fuck though. I'm gonna call him Bruce. Mama named Bruce, I'm calling Bruce.
I mean, some people know that version.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real spill.
But my point is, when we have those conversations, when we correct each other, when you put my proper pronouns are, all that leaves room for, when we say trans women are women, all that leaves room for Woman of the Year, Bruce Banner, or whatever his name was.
Or that man hopping in the pool with them women and smoking their ass, or the man hopping in the boxing ring with the women and beating their ass. Like,
It's insane.
insane.
But it's
dog.
how we,
It's the new America.
and I'm gonna go one step further. Those are the people that's playing chess, right? And I'm gonna tell you why, right? Who benefits most from that?
You gonna tell us?
I am. God damn it, because I know.
I can't wait for the answer.
No, what is Bruce at his core?
What's what?
White
What is
man
Bruce at
in
his
America.
core?
A white man.
You goddamn right. We're gonna maintain power at all costs.
Oh yeah, and they fighting.
If I got to be a woman to keep this power, I'm going to be a
Handmaid's Tale.
woman to keep this power. I'm going to keep this power.
Yeah, it's wild as hell and it's beyond common
Right?
sense.
We got, y'all know I'm big into politics, right? We allocate money per group. Homosexual is not an ethnicity, right? Where the gay black people live
But
in this city?
with the straight black people,
True, but mostly on Jeffrey.
knock it off.
You know it is.
No, knock it
Conversation
off.
is taking
No,
a turn.
no, but it's important though.
Knock it off.
No, it's so important.
No,
It's so important. It's so important. It's so
I'm not
important.
gonna put all the black gay people
White
on
people
Jeffrey,
have
nigga.
boys
No.
now.
But listen,
We need-
that's so important though,
Hell
right? Because
no.
they get money allocated per group. So when that money gets allocated, where does it go? It goes to Boys Town.
does go to
And Boys Town is traditionally very, very racist.
It is. It is.
All the black people
Right?
in Chicago
But the
live
black
on Jeffrey.
men that align and the black women that align themselves
'Cause of
with
the
being
plug.
culturally gay usually align themselves with that before the essence of blackness. So they go in and they vote with gay as an identity.
So you say
They make decisions with gay as an identity
Versus black.
versus
black.
black.
Yeah.
And you taking resources from yourself and giving it to Boys Town with your crazy ass. Because the people who really in control is really playing chess.
We need a black gay community.
That's the answer. Why don't we just be a black community? God damn it, the white man to figure it out. Why can't we?
Hey, man.
Just black all together. Yeah.
I love y'all though.
That is where we shall leave the conversation for today,
This was
man.
a roller coaster of an
It was good,
episode.
though.
Yeah,
I'll get back on this ride.
Yeah.
Let's go backslide.
Put all that dick in there, Michelle.
You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. You know what I'm like. Take that.
It wasn't real.
I'm done.
1 minute and 16 seconds.
Listen, man,
later.
thank y'all so very much for choosing to tune in to today's conversation. As always, your opinions with value and appreciated. Please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you have subscribed and set the alert so you get alerts when the page does go live. Please also make sure you share it with at least one person that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation. Oh, Tahiti, where can the people find you if they want to keep up with you? If you want to be kept up with.
I do want to be kept up with. You can find me on Instagram, Tahitian Treat. Great black pop.
Tahitian
culture.
Treat, like the
Tahitian
pop?
treat.
Tahitian Treat. You know
That's
it tastes
the
good.
Only Chicago
shit.
people
It's
know that.
diabetes in a can.
Only Chicago people know that.
I used to get that when I was a shorty.
That's
I used to go
very
to the
Chicago.
laundromat.
Very
That's the only place I would get it.
Follow me there.
Tahitian Treat. So it's at Tahitian Treat?
Is that Tahitian Treat?
We'll put it in.
I love
Follow
that for you.
Tahiti has a lot of great content. She does a lot of cool stuff, fun things. I'll be like, girl, where you get that outfit from? How y'all be putting this stuff together?
I'm a girl. I'll
I'll be
share.
like,
with
how
We
you.
need some of your cool help over here, man. Come help us be cool.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get back on the roller coaster. I'm gonna help you.
All right, play.
There you have it, man. Shout out to P for doing all of the hard work behind the camera. P.I., you are phenomenal, sir. For E, for 2, special thanks to Tahiti. I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Salam alaikum.
Hey. So like salam.